Welcome to Comic Toy Reviews. This review discusses the Shane character in The Walking Dead and the TV series, and it does definitely contain end of season 2 spoilers. If you haven't watched season 2 of The Walking Dead in terms of the TV show, or you haven't followed the comic book and you want to follow it, then this volume basically contains huge spoilers, so you probably don't want to see the rest of this video because huge spoiler material. One thing that was interesting in the comic books was the Shane character visually. He looks quite different, I think, than the TV show in terms of the actor chosen. This right here, this is Shane in the comic books in terms of how he looked. Shane right here is a character. On the TV show, he died second to last episode of season 2. It was really a surprise because in terms of his comic book appearances, he only appeared in the first storyline. The first 6 or so issues, basically the first few issues of the volume were just one big storyline, and that's where you met the characters, and that's where Shane was seen as well. And he died in the first storyline in the comic books. That's right, when I was reading this volume, I was surprised that the character who had such a long appearance in the TV show for 2 seasons, I thought that that character in the TV show, if he's based on a comic book character, that the comic book character would be a mainstay of the book. And so I was really surprised that on the first storyline that the character gets killed off. And I actually think that to kill him off so soon in the comic books, you really did not get to explore his full potential. As you can see in the TV show, it's a really dynamic character. And I gotta tell you, when the character of Shane died in the second to last episode, even though the last episode had a lot of action, it seemed to be missing something. It seemed that it wasn't as good as it could have been. And I think the factor was that with the Shane character gone from the books, he was such a driving force besides Rick that now you've lost a main element of your TV show. You know, you've lost sort of a counterbalance to Rick, and you've lost that now. And even though they're introducing the character Michonne in the books, which is kind of funny because that Michonne character, she appeared in the comic books here after Shane was already killed, and they introduced her in the TV show after Shane is already killed. And I'm wondering if she in the TV show can pick up the slack and fill that void that Shane is left on the TV show. Because now that he's gone from the TV show, that I think there's a void storyline wise, and I wonder if introducing a new character could fill that void, or is it going to be a empty slot in terms of the series. And in the TV show, I'll just tell you how the character Shane dies. Basically, he goads Rick one-on-one into a confrontation, and he wanted to kill Rick, but it seems that maybe he just wanted Rick to kill him, and ultimately Rick and Shane were fighting for quite a bit in terms of how they saw themselves as both the leader of the group and the other guy wasn't. And anyway, in this big confrontation, Shane gets killed by Rick because Rick stabs him like right in the chest. And then Shane comes back as a zombie, and then Carl, Rick's kid, shoots zombie Shane in the head. In the comic books, it was actually a little different. right here. In the comic books, Shane pulls a gun on Rick, and he's confronting Rick about who should be basically leader of the group. He thinks he's the better leader and that his vision is better, and Rick disagrees. There's no physical fist fight. In the TV show, there was a physical confrontation. They had an episode where they were physically fighting each other. And here, there's no fist fight. It's just a threat with a gun. And weirdly enough, and this is what is weird, Carl, who is Rick's kid, he shoots Shane in the neck and basically kills him in cold blood with a cheap shot. And so that's how Shane dies in the comic books. Which, when you really think about it, is more disturbing than in the TV show. Because when Shane dies in the comic books here, he's cold-bloodedly murdered by a kid. The kid shoots him and kills him. And Shane was not a zombie. He was just a human. And the funny thing is that Shane helped Carl learn how to shoot a gun. And so Carl ultimately shoots Shane. This was a cold-blooded shooting. And you can see right here. But in the TV show, they only shoot zombie Shane. And that's why when I saw zombie Shane return in the TV show, and I kind of felt and knew that they would go this direction, and that Carl would shoot Shane in the TV show, just like he shot Shane in the comic book. But at least he was a zombie there, and it was Rick who did the killing of the human Shane in the TV show. This was more of a weird way, and actually a bit more disturbing than how the TV show portrayed it. And I think emotionally the TV show portrayed it better because it was Rick doing the killing, and the confrontation was more personal between those two characters in terms of how it concluded than how it concluded in the comic books. It's the second volume here. You could see here in the art that there's a new artist on the series, and this is Charlie Adlard. He's been in the books ever since. And the last pages here, that was Tony Moore. He did the covers until like issue 20-something, but Tony Moore didn't do the interior art. It was all Charlie Adlard here, and been ever since in the book. So overall, my opinion of Shane as a character is that I think the TV show, now that it's missing him as a character, it leaves a real empty spot in the TV show. And I'm wondering if some of the other actors or new characters that get introduced in Season 3 could step up and fill that role that's missing now. Or will the show, by actually getting rid of the character, have they made a tactical mistake because now something is missing on the show and it's noticeable. So I guess Season 3 we'll find out how it goes. So that's my thoughts on the Shane character in the Walking Dead TV show and comic book and what happened to him. So thanks for watching, and talk to you later.